And hopefully what I'm going to do today is connect with you in a real way, that we take out all the labels, all the names, the titles of everything in life, and just kind of get real. Because what you're going to get from me today isn't about all the psychobabble, all the terms, all the things maybe that you might have learned in a psychology class. It's more about just what life throws at us. And what I really believe is that we all have struggles. All of us have struggles. Even myself struggles. Right? Part of that struggles is not only knowing that we have struggles, but also accepting and understanding that we're not defined by our struggles. So what are struggles? It can be anything from, well, let me ask you guys, how open are you with your struggles? This is a tough thing to have. Can anyone say they suddenly struggle? I struggle with the fear of Ferris wheels. I do not like getting on a Ferris wheel. Does anyone else like getting on a Ferris wheel?
Fear of staples.
Fear of staples? Yeah?
I'm terrified of cars.
Terrified of cars? I get anxious every time I'm under a ceiling fan that's wobbling. My brother, when we were younger, I shared a room with him. I was on the top bunk, he was on the lower bunk. He always wanted to be on the top bunk, so he told me that ceiling fan was always going to fall and cut off my legs. And to this day, when I'm under a ceiling fan, I experience that anxiety that I had when I was a kid. Even though I know that a ceiling fan has never cut off my legs, I still feel that anxiety, right? So why I tell you this is struggles are real. A lot of times what I do is I go around and I've gone around and talked about this idea of everyone's struggles. Part of my professional goal is to normalize mental health. And that's what my goal here is today, is we can talk about ways to deal with stress and anxiety. We can talk about all those ways that may be helpful. But really my goal today is to look at each one of you and hopefully connect with 1, 2, 4. I don't know if I can connect with all of you, but how mental health is real. Mental health isn't just about the people that are mentally ill that have a diagnosis. We all have mental health as much as physical health. So if you take anything away from here today, know that it's important to recognize that you have mental health and that we all have mental health. What is your name? Sophia. Come here, Sophia. Hi. That's exactly right. You're right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You want to stand up here with me?
Sure.
Yeah.
I said it's neutral. It's what you make of it.
It is. So you have a situation, Sophia. What would be a situation in your life?
An audition.
You have an audition in your life. That is a neutral situation.
Yeah.
And then that situation comes in your life, and now you get to determine how you're going to think about that situation.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have automatic thoughts that come into our head like, oh, this is awesome.
Right.
Or oh, she's trying out for the part too. Oh, I don't think I can beat her at the part. Or whatever it would be, right? Your thought then sets up for how emotionally you feel. So you might feel anxious, you might feel frustrated, you might feel sad. Mm-hmm. And then your behavior is then what you do, right? So if you go into a situation saying, I got this, I'm going to get this part, then how are you emotionally going to feel?
Better.
Better. And then what are your behaviors going to be?
More positive.
More positive. You're going to do whatever you want, right?
Right.
What happens though you could say to yourself, I'm going to get this part, but do you know that you're going to get the part?
No.
No. You could, this isn't about just positive thinking. It's, okay, now if I don't get the part, I can handle it. So you can either say to yourself, I've got this, I'm going to do it, I'm going to go crush this, I've got this. But then when you don't get it, I can handle it. Can you handle not getting the part?
Yeah.
Can you handle if you don't have a ride to school and you have to walk to school?
Well, not the location of my house, but if it was closer, then yeah.
Where do you live?
Like,
not your exact
yeah, no, I know, but like a 13-minute drive, so
13.
That's kind of a long walk.
But could you handle it?
If it's not cold, then yeah.
But what if it was cold?
I'm gonna call my friend. She's gonna come pick me up.
What if your friend's not available?
I'm gonna call my other friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Give it up for Sophie. No, this is about getting real, right? So you don't handle it too well for how long?
Okay. So like, I don't know, a year.
Okay. Right. Right. But our mind goes to, you guys listen. Our mind goes to, I can't handle failing this class. I can't handle, and I don't know, what do you think about, you're in the is this the distinguished scholars? What does that mean? I don't even know. When I wasn't in the NH, like we had like the National Honor Society, but I was nowhere even near that. There's a lot of stress in your lives. Yeah. Guess what, guys? Are any of you perfect? No. Who thinks they're perfect anymore? No one's perfect. So, is there a possibility that you're going to struggle at something or more than one thing? Is it important that you get everything right? No. Yes? Who says yes, it's important? Who believes it's not important to get everything right? Why is it important not to get everything right? Yes, this guy over here needs to stand on this stage too. Pick the low, the high. Tell me something that causes you anxiety. Other than the recorder.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, not getting the grades that I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the grades that you want, then what happens?
A lot of self-loathing. Yeah.
And if let's say you got kicked out of this program, is it possible to get picked up?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Do any of you fear that, or I don't know how that?
It's happened to some people.
It's happened to some people.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Like your
You get sent back to your school.
you get sent back, and you're worried about your reputation and am I good enough and all that. This goes to my next point here in a minute, guys. Life's a long game, right? It's all about wins and gains, wins and losses. Is it possible that some of you Sam may get kicked out of the program?
I'm sure.
Let me ask you this, Sam. If you got kicked out of the program, what would happen?
My parents would probably wonder what happened.
Okay.
And I'd probably wonder what happened. And a lot of them would be like, it was a matter of time. But,
Could you handle it?
yeah, eventually.
How long? Like a year?
No, it like maybe a couple months. I'd be like disappointed.
And then what would you do after that?
I'd move on, do my best to move
You
on.
would go back to your school.
Yeah, or feeder school.
And
So
then
I'd go back to
you
South.
would try working again? You try.
Possibly, yeah.
You're not going to give up.
No.
What would giving up look like?
Wallowing in self-pity.
For how long?
Too long.
Let's give it up for Sam. So my point with all this, guys, and then I want to get into a discussion here in a minute, is that life takes us on lots of turns, right? And some of us are more open. So when I have these conversations with people, and I'll be honest with you, when I have these conversations, they're not fun conversations to have. I'm talking about stress, I'm talking about struggles, I'm talking about the fear of people judging us. I'm talking about criticism, what's wrong with me. But I'm guessing that all of us in here in our own time, in our own ways, not only do we think about this, but we think many other personal things that we have in our life. And so my goal is when you are in those places where you don't have, your protection, your armor on, and when you're looking at yourself, you look at three things. How am I thinking? What are my thoughts? Am I looking going, I can't handle this, I can't do it. What if this happens? What if that happens? You say to yourself, I got this. I can do this. Let's go. Nothing's gonna stop me. Okay, I got a bad grade on this test. Okay, what? Hear that? That when she goes to someone to talk about the things she's struggling with, she doesn't feel like her things she's struggling with are as important as what other people are struggling with. Did I get that right? If we go back to the idea that we all struggle, aren't all of our struggles just as important as the next? And you can't handle losing that causes you to emotionally and socially spiral, where it could be the same as someone else's really large, big concern, right? So my point here is, while I understand that, and I understand the context may be different, but our struggles are important to us. And I'm believing if they're important to us, they're important to other people. My point is I'm trying to reach people in every place, in every way, where I'm talking about mental health in various different ways, talking about skills in ways where you may not feel comfortable coming out and saying, yeah, I really am having a tough time right now. But I'm trying to reach people in different ways to help them just feel more comfortable, because the more you're comfortable you are talking about your mental health, then you get to reach out and you feel more comfortable accepting someone else as they talk about their mental health. Okay? Now here's the cool part about mental health. Not only do we talk about the struggles, but we get to talk about how awesome we are. So, and that's a part that I don't know that we totally do a good job about, because it seems selfish to really focus on ourselves. I want to hear what you guys are awesome at. What are you awesome at? Chief shirt here, what are you awesome at?
Helping other people.
Helping other people, all right. What do you enjoy in your life?
Running.
Running, great. In the cold weather?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. I want to tell you one thing. Life is a long game, and I'm hoping that I'm reaching one or two or three of you. I know some of you, maybe this isn't your jam right now, but I hope I'm reaching a couple of you, and this kind of seeks in that there are ways to work through your struggles. There are definitely things to help you, even when you feel like there aren't. I'll tell you guys this about my practice. It's not a job for me. It's a way of life. And I tell you that with all my heart, and knowing that we have as we do with many things, we have a mental health crisis, and you guys know that. It's nothing new that you guys have. And if I can be one voice that is as loud as I can, really be passionate about it, my hope is that at some point that I can engage and maybe encourage you guys to also have voices. Because the reason why I came here today wasn't to necessarily sell you Midwest anxiety or anything else. It's really for you guys as a group to be able to support and encourage each other. And you can't really support and encourage each other unless you think and you become more open to the topic of mental health. Not only supporting you as friends, but as a department and as a group, and your teachers over here part. And so you asked me that question because I'm very, very passionate about you don't have to be a therapist to care about mental health. You can just be a person, right? And so I'm here just as a voice, and I have a platform, but I'm hoping today at least 100, 75, maybe. How many people are in this room? 100? 140? I hope 50 of you today go out of this room saying something positively about mental health.